Welcome, Grandmasters and Grandmistresses, to the most beloved series of the channel. Let's jump into it. White starts off with, "You got a BF? Book move. It's a coin flip. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't." Black hits back with, "Yeah, good move, setting up boundaries and a good defense." White hits back with, "How big in inches?" Whoa, buddy, you can't just ask around for the size of people's joystick. Except me. I get an exception. Blunder. Black responds with question mark. Forced move. I would be confused too if I'm the one getting hit on. Or my boyfriend. White follows up with his how big? Gotta respect this Gooner's weird gambit though. He really wants that details. Get it? No? Okay. Another blunder. Black replies with, LMAO, I haven't measured it. WTF. Excellent move. But who hasn't measured it yet? Everyone does. Yes, everyone. White shoots back with, wonder how I compare, LOL. Bro, give it up. You're scaring the huzz. It doesn't work like that. Let's say you actually have a bigger joystick than her boyfriend. She isn't gonna leave him magically to be with you. You're not me. Classic thinking with the other head. Blunder. Black hits back with, oh, are you gay? There it is. She finally said what's all on our mind. Best move. White fumbles with, LOL, no. Forced move. No way out. He's already exposed himself. He's not me. Black checkmates with, oh, you seem to be very interested in my BF's car. She used his own strategy against him to destroy him. Absolute cinema. Gooner down. Next. White opens with, you sexy. Book move. This opening is on the lower tier list. Almost a Gooner opening, but still decent enough. White continues, hey sexy. How are you sexy? Hey. How's it going? Going. Now this is a true Gooner. Most people just give up after getting ignored. This man kept coming after months after getting ignored. He even misspelled going. Probably typed that with one hand, using the other for, you know. Blunder. Black closed with, you missed May. I can't have unreliable people in my life right now. Brilliant. This is just brutal. How does Black even think of this? This Gooner made the mistake of starting a match with a Grandmaster. Now, if you don't want me to miss an upload, hit that like and subscribe button, and also join the Discord in the description. Thank you. Now, for the next match. White starts with, send nudes. Textbook mistake. This type of Gooner opening rarely works. I mean, it works sometimes, but rarely. Black hits back with, nah, excellent move. Instantly shuts down White's Gooner opening. White hits back with, you don't say nah to me. It's an order, not a request. I want nudes, you'll get me nudes. White starts to throw tantrums after not getting nudes. Blunder. This is just scary. White doesn't know the meaning of consent. Black hits back with, nah, great move. Don't fix what isn't broken. 3-letter word that makes White rage. White responds with, shut up, bitch. Mistake. Black says, okay, bye. Excellent move. White finally developed enough brain cells to know he wasn't getting anything, but he couldn't just leave without calling Black a lame hoe. With this, Black won by checkmate. Pretty one-sided matches today. Next. White opens with, hi. Book move. Finally, some fucking normal opening. I missed these. Surely this is gonna be a normal match. Right? Right. White follows up with, my can we talk, smiley face, then sends a picture of their car. What the actual fuck is this? What even goes inside your brain when you send a picture of your eggplant to strangers? Or I guess in this it would be more like a baby carrot. Fucking blunder. Black hits auto reply. We have detected the transmission of unsolicited pornographic images of potentially illegal nature, code 36489-A, and your device's IP address has been forwarded to the police department pending an investigation. If you think this is a mistake, reply STOP. This is just absolute cinema. This will scare away any low-level Gooner. What a phenomenal copy pasta. Brilliant. White, scrambling, replies with all caps, stop. Forced move. He's scared of the consequences of his action and is now crying like a pussy. White follows up with another stop. With this, White resigned. I want to feel bad for White, I really do, but he highly deserved this, not gonna lie. Next match. White opens with, you are the slutty babysitter my wife hires when she goes out of town. Name is Scott or Mr. Henderson, 6'2", brown hair, blue eyes, athletic build, wearing jeans and a t-shirt. Oh no, it's one of these types of Gooners. He probably watches too much porn thinking this shit would work. Oh buddy, blunder. Again, Gooner openings never work. Too much risk. Black replies with, my name is Shrek, or Green Legend. I'm 7'6" and I love eating eyes. Great move. Who doesn't love Shrek? Silly little guy. Big guy. Perfect counter. If white is going to come up with a fan fiction type of opening, black also does. Black not answering? Fucking Shrekophobe. Another best move. Black matches white's energy, and white's raging boner probably faded away after getting hit with Shrek's defense. I mean, mine wouldn't. Next, white starts the game with, so what do you mean? Good move, probably asking about a questionable move black made off screen or in a previous match. Black hits back with, it's a rare disease. I need to see fresh girls without dress to be alive. Sad face emoji. I want to see you without dress or I will die. Holy shit, this man invented a terminal illness just to see some play. Absolute brain rot. Blunder. White replies with, ha 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 ha, that's so funny, what's it called? Sweet summer child, she thinks he's joking. She could have won the game, but she wanted to believe no player just would make that move seriously. Missed win. Black hits back with, it's not joke, okay? Real disease. It's called anudicypedia. You can't find it on Google. Don't search. Now, I'm not sure if black is dead serious or just trolling. Either way, inaccuracy. White asks, what happens if I don't send you pics? Best move. We are all waiting for black's answers. Yes, we, me, and you. Black closes with, my skin turned red and I will slowly puke blood and die. Just send, bitch. At first, he tried to stick to the script, but he got impatient and too horny and ditched it. I'll give it a blunder for not being as dedicated as these other Gooners. Next, White opens with, what color panties are you wearing? Another D1 Gooner. Bro is fiending for the color and would probably cut. Blunder. Black responds with, Sugcon. Low tier bait. I wouldn't be surprised if the Gooner falls for it, but I doubt it. Nobody is falling for this. Right? Book move. And yet, White walks right in with, what color is that? Mistake. This is what too much gooning does to a person, losing basic common sense. This needs to be stopped. Black delivers the easiest checkmate of her life with, suck on these nuts. That trap doesn't work often, but when it does, it's brutal. Next, White leads with, let me, bust on them thighs. Another disgusting opener. An inaccuracy. He walked into the match with lotion in one hand and his shorts at his ankles. Black responds with devastating calm. I'm an amputee. She drops a real-life curveball on this degenerate. A normal person would retreat. Most would apologize. White is not either. Another best move. White closes with, let me, bust on them stumps. As much as I hate to say this, White actually won. He doubled down and stayed committed. He heard amputee and doubled down. White opens with, send tits. Another Gooner opening. Another low effort one. Make it creative at the very least. Mistake. Black responds with, okay, and sends a picture of a bird. She didn't block, she didn't lash out, she sent him exactly what he asked for. The Paris Major, also known as a tit. Absolute genius, brilliant. White closes with, what is a bird? Send tititis, no birth, tit. His brain melted after getting perfectly parried. That made him panic. Black wins by checkmate. Next match. White starts with, hi, book move, a classic opener. Again, less is more. Sometimes these safe openings are enough. Black responds with, hey, who's this? Also a book move. Finally, a normal match? Please, 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 I don't want to read any more of these gooned out messages. White escalates with, oh god, clears throat. It's Brandon from class, sweating profusely. I'm sweating profusely because I don't want to read this shit. He's role-playing in the third person. That's a bad sign. These types of players are all weird. Mistake. Black replies, I think you got the wrong number. Haha. Black tried to be nice and kind towards White. Good move. Black spirals, looks down at ground, twirling thumbs. Shannon gave me your number. Whatever that face is. I can already tell this guy watches anime and I just can't anymore, man. Put me out of my fucking misery. I don't even want to read the next message. I don't want to read the rest of them. Another mistake. Black responds with, that's cool, but you have the wrong number. I'm a 25-year-old man. This should put a stop to the Gooner's advances. Hopefully. Nothing worse than being given the wrong number and it's a grown-ass man. Why would you even continue? Best move. White replies, come on, it's Brandon from Econ. I asked Shannon for your number. Let's hang out. Hand itching to unzip pants. Jesus fucking Christ. What do you mean hand itching to unzip pants? This man is simultaneously role-playing as shy and horny. Pick one. Blunder. Black fires back with, Brandon, you have the wrong number. I'm not a woman. I literally have a mustache. Black give him a good warning. This time he is literally trying to save White from committing more blunders. What a gentleman. Excellent move. White sends a dick. Despite every single signal telling him he's sexting a grown man named Dave, he still continues. I wish I could give something worse than Blunder, because Blunder doesn't do this move justice. Black replies with an image of himself looking at the camera. I have no words. Best move. Although he should have blocked this weird ass Gooner a while ago, I still have no words. White then says no, and nothing else. Forced move. What else is the Gooner supposed to say? He sent this guy a dick pic, and he also roleplayed with him. Black ends the match with yes, an easy checkmate. Next. White opens with, are you seemingly innocent but harboring a secret desire to be transformed into an obedient little Wow, just wow, an opening that sends you onto some kind of watch list. No punctuation either. My man was fiending to send this message. Blunder. Black hits back with, oh my, not quite transform into an obedient little but more like a violent little woman who wants to chop you, then skin you. Brilliant move. She didn't fold. She turned it into White's worst nightmare. Honestly, if White backs out, he's missing out. This is my type of woman. Or man if they were one. If you don't want your wiener to be chopped off, hit that like and subscribe button, and the Discord link is in the description waiting for you to click on it. Black follows up with, hello? ? Talk to me, you little shit. Man, here I am being a nice girl and you just ignore me? ? ! Fuck you, dude. She's not crashing out since White folded and ran around like a pussy, while I'm in here trying to get into Black's DMs. Great move, scaring White some more so he never does this to a poor opponent again. White finally responds, I think we have different interests. Yeah man, you wanted obedient roleplay and got threatened with getting your dick chopped off. First time in my life seeing a high elo Gooner getting absolutely destroyed. This is a good move. Black closes with, why would you say that? Talk to me, you cunt. Don't you dare leave me on red. Black's still crashing out, committed to the act. Maybe it's not an act, maybe she's exactly like this. Either way, Black wins by checkmate. Next, White opens with home sweet home, smiley face. Best move. They were probably out on a date and are now home from the said date. Swear to God, please be a normal match. Black replies with, good, you sleep well. Oh my God, I think we finally have the normal match we've been looking for. Best move. This match is flowing smoothly. Just continue the momentum and this is a clean match. White hits back with, you too. Kind of a boring response, but this fucking works. Good move. White responds with, great kisser by the way, ! Smiley face. Great move, finally escalating the match without creepy remarks. I was so used to people being Gooners, I was expecting White to say, great panties by the way. Black replies with, thank you, which is a good move. This is a good conversation and it's flowing well. I'm honestly really surprised. White closes with, Jesus fucking Christ bro, why the fuck would you sabotage yourself like this? Can't wait for more, I'm just laying down You were homebound, she was interested in one more, but you just had to ruin it with your a missed win if I ever fucking saw one. Just had to be normal, and he failed. White opens with, nice cat pic, wanna see my chicken pic? Fucking Gooner. White opens with, your phone is now hacked. Do exactly as I say, and I'll remove the hack. If you don't, then I'll destroy your phone. If you try to block or report me, I'll still destroy it. Now send your age and a live face pic to prove you're real, revealing that they have no idea what they're talking about on the offense. If White really hacked Black, then they would already have their goddamn photo and age. Inaccuracy. Black hits back with, what kind of phone am I on? What OS? ? Not falling for the trap. If White was a hacker, they would know this info, making it the perfect confirmation of danger and a best move. You have 30 seconds to send them before I destroy it. White chooses to ignore the counter from White, making it super obvious that they have absolutely no power over their device. Taking a wild guess would have been a smarter move than this mistake. At least then there would have been a mild chance of success. Black picks this out and says, you didn't answer my question, which is the coldest counterattack possible. White is being pinned against a wall harder than a shopping cart in the mall parking lot on Black Friday, and trust me, I've been pinned like that before. This is definitely an excellent move. White replies, I don't need to, in a blunder, and they clearly do because otherwise they're basically throwing away the match. My man's giving out free elo like it's Christmas or some shit. It's been more than 30 seconds is Black's response, looping back to an earlier message like a genius. Now White looks like a dumbass who is all talk, which they are, but that isn't my point. This move confirms that, which is why it has to be brilliant. White explains, yup, and it's getting destroyed in a pathetic parry. It's clearly not getting destroyed if Black is still playing the game. The only thing getting destroyed is their scam after this blunder. you didn't really plan ahead for people taking you up on your bullshit, did you? Black points out White's lack of a plan B, and having a reliable plan B is a necessity to win games of text chess. Black plays a good move by calling out White's lack of one and starts the push for checkmate. White replies, yes, I just destroy it, you think I can't? And if I got paid 1 cent for every time bro threatened to destroy the phone without doing it, I'd be able to afford 5 minutes with their mom. At this point, White just needs to give up and move on to their next victim because it's clear that Black isn't falling for it. Blunder. Black gets back with, I'm still waiting on that. Look, I'm gonna go get some lunch, you have fun with hacking my phone, showing their lack of care, and giving White time to conjure up their next move. For the reason of giving White time to get themselves out of this mess, I'm calling this a miss. A better move would have been a bit of good old rage bait. Next, White kicks us off with a heart emoji, which is a pretty weird way to open a match, but a book move nonetheless. It's actually the most common emoji opening, but used by low elo players mostly. Could've just said hey to play it safe, but I guess not. Black, clearly confused, responds with hello, and this is a pretty goddamn rational response to a person sending a love heart. Looks like it wasn't love at first text for White. Good move. White asks, what's up? How are you doing? Making things more normal by taking a more laid-back approach. I have to call this a good move because there is nothing wrong with it, although the bad impression has already been made. I'm good, is Black's forced move a response because at this point they're just responding for the sake of it. Also, why the fuck are they still playing it safe? What a sniveling little coward. It's so obvious that they do not want to be here. White jumps into the scam with, sounds great, and I'm doing perfectly well myself as I recently benefited from the ongoing personal and business grant program. Have you heard about the grant program yet? And this blunder couldn't be more obvious of a scam. My guy went from the basic emoji opening to the pyramid scheme gambit in record time. We are deep in the trenches of low elo text chess. No actual business opens up negotiation with a damn love heart. At least most don't. Black replies, wow, Nona, that sounds amazing! Please tell me more! Were they the ones that were able to bring you back to life since you died last year? And what an absolute miss. How the fuck did my man read this and think, yep, this is normal. Oh wait, they're not done. F***ing slimy cunt. Stop trying to scam people. I hope you die in a barn fire, period. Now that is what I'm talking about. This piece of absolute cinema is making me revoke the miss and make it a brilliant move. This amazing attack penetrates every hole that White has to offer, literally obliterating them. Wait, not every hole. Anyway, it also confirms the checkmate in style. Next, hey there! This is Kevin from K Capital, period. I see you had filed for working capital in the past 6 months, period. I can up to 5 mm and terms up to 24 months, period. I can do daily, weekly, bi-weekly payments, Are you still looking for funding at a better term, White opens with the most NPC message ever, and I think I'd rather read all the Dork Diaries books than this boring book move. Black hits back with, hello Kevin, I fucked your wife, escalating the move instantly with a crazy offensive move. This is great rage bait used on an obvious scammer though, so it is definitely a great move. White replies, let's get you funded, deflecting the insult with a best move, continuing his business proposal as the bills do not pay themselves. I would know. The bill collector is probably breathing down his neck as we speak, and he is gripping on me at the same exact time. Black responds, your wife has a tight ass. Going deep into detail now. It sounds like detail isn't the only thing that Black's gone deep into either. I'm quite jealous. This great move continues the attack and forces White to defend again. I know, I eat it every night. Let's get you funded! Is White's brilliant counter, and I'm in utter shock. Bro broke character just to take a hanging piece. It is a brilliant move that you cannot appreciate. Let's get White funded instead. Black responds, ha 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 ha, ha ha ha, thanks for the laugh dude, but I gotta pass, crushing White's hope instead of selling their scam with a good move. Laughing before saying no was not tough though. Next, I am James and I am asked to message you. Your brother has been robed and hurt, in need of care. Please cash out $450 through me, please. We all know, yes, you and me, that you're supposed to send a picture of the hostage to confirm they're real. Rookie mistake.
Damn, bro took Black's brother hostage and broke the opening principle for it. Black hits back with, my brother Boimler is in Bratislava this week, period. And what the fuck is that name? It sounds like a failed Harry Potter spell, but forces White into a corner. This is a good move for proving White wrong. White replies, yes, it is him at that place. A doctor is required fast. In another mistake, because if this story is true, the doctor would be phoning them for a $10,000 bill, not a $450 ransom from a random man on the internet. White's attempt to funnel money from Black is already dead in the water, like my chances of not dying alone. Unless I find the guy, I meant women, for me. Black then says, so I don't send the money quickly, Boimler might die, ? Like a literal dumbass. This scam might actually work because Black has missed it with, you guessed it, a miss. Their brain needs to be studied because it might be missing too. Yes, a danger is present. Will you send the money fast? White starts the push for checkmate by starting to secure the money with an excellent move. The best move would have been sending their bank details alongside the message to speed up the process though. White then drops a plot twist. I think not, period. When he dies, I receive $125 million from his will, period. Please tell him I said goodbye, ! What a trophy move. This dude knew it was a scam all along and has finally trolled the scammer, revealing their time has been wasted. You have gotta love it. You are wicked and hell waits for you is Black's response, and I think hell would rather invite the person who tried to steal $450 than the winner of a text chess match. Definitely an inaccuracy. Next, White starts with, hello, I'm Lisa from Higher Art USA. Are you interested in a flexible remote position? And any semi-functioning human would not trust this shit. We all know that a job offering coming out of nowhere is way too good to be true. This is a common book move in the scam world, and everyone, yes, you and me, that is included, have received this message at least once. Black hits back with, your mom's interested in flexible positions, completely debunking the scam and attacking White with an excellent move. It's so excellent that White resigns the match faster than a gamer pulling the plug after getting teabagged twice. Also, you should join my Discord pretty fast too, because it lets you submit messages from my videos. Next, hello, how are you doing today is White's polite and neutral book move opening that aims to keep things friendly. A common trick used by scammers to gain trust from potential victims. Black sees right through it and says, just send me the virus link, in a great move on the defense. If you're gonna scam, you might as well cut to the chase and save both players some time. White sees the vision and sends the virus link right over, and even the link looks suspicious as fuck. http://sas-autos.com/? link equals 253723311/T5G9Y/? SC equals 1 and SC equals 1 and I equals 1 and PPY equals 3990999. Yeah, if you click that shit, you deserve whatever virus it contains. Inaccuracy. Next, White asks, what happened to Finn? I'm Sophia, period. Are you beefy? Is it? Trying the gambler's gambit. This is when scammers take a wild guess at their opponent's name, so if it's right, they gain some authority. Beefy is a questionable mistake of a guess though, I must say. Adolf would have had a higher odd than that shit. Black hits back questioning, what the kind of name is Beefy? And I have to agree with this forced response. The only thing I think of when I hear beefy is the beefy melt from Taco Bell. Those things are fire. Yes, sorry, I entered a few wrong numbers, sorry to bother you, period, is White's mistake of an attempt of defending the attack, and not gonna lie, the only acceptable move here would have been resignation and a learning experience. Beefy doesn't even come up on mynamestats.com, that's when you know how bad bro fumbled. Black replies, look man, if you're gonna run this scam, you gotta change the name away from beefy, what the hell is that? Offering advice to the scammer. Personally, I wouldn't help this man because they have the potential in the scamming industry of a glitter bomb at a funeral. Ain't no one gonna invest in that mistake. White gets all defensive and says, I'm very sorry, you are a kind and polite person, period. Have a nice day, period, before resigning the match, but just before they hit the resign button. Black sneaks in, wrong, in all caps, and checkmates just in time. Absolute cinema. Next, White accuses, I have pictures of you doing bad things from your computer camera, period. I have also installed virus on your computer that can monitor everything you are doing, period. I will send the pictures of all your contacts if you don't listen, period. Kindly text me back at this number and I will tell you how to pay the fine, period. What does bro mean fine? This isn't a goddamn parking ticket. This good move is actually crafted quite well though, especially if Black is a Gooner who has edged a lot in front of their camera before. Black replies, knock yourself out, blood, taking things as seriously as a toaster at a barbecue competition. They clearly see right past a scam and have no fear in their second being leaked even if they do have it out there. Probably because it's massive. If that's the case, I might want to take a look, just for, scientific measures. Great move. I am seriously, period. If you don't pay, you will be very sorry and very embarrassed. White hits back with an inaccuracy, continuing their scam. Making a spelling mistake against someone who is clearly gonna rage bait you is not smart. Asterisk, serious. I knew it. The best move from White aims to piss off the scammer and begins to threaten a very promising checkmate. Black would be stupid to not resign. Fortunately, they are stupid, and Black responds, okay, be like that, in a miss. The best move would have been to leave straight away. Oh, and to like and subscribe. Next, 1000. Hey, it's Walmart's 40th birthday! Exclamation point. Join us for today's $1,000 gift card giveaway now! Exclamation point. Offer expires at 5 p.m. White plays a good move because this scam would definitely work on all the boomers out there. Oh, and British people, somebody please invest in their dentists. Black responds with an image showing the actual age of Walmart, which is 56 years, completely disproving their scam without even speaking. Bro's message has more aura than all the anime villains combined, giving this a brilliant move. Next, White says, hello, my name is Simon from Barclays Bank, period. Can I have your bank details, PLZ? Many thanks, Simon. Hello, question mark, bank details, PLZ, which is a crazy opening. My guy started begging for the bank details before rejection even came. You can tell this guy has lost a lot of matches recently with this mistake. White cannot be bothered with a player like this, so chooses to abort the match before it properly starts. Next, White asks, Ella, are you working today? Question mark. A basic book move opening, simply trying to figure out some information. At least that's what they want you to think. Black replies with, yes, keeping this simple vibe with a good move. Damn, this is the most chill opening we've had in the video so far. Nobody has lost $1 trillion yet. I'm Annie, dear, have you forgotten me? Question mark. Is White's response followed up with a picture of themselves. I'd say they're hot, but it isn't a guy. This great move reminds Black of who White is, just in case they aren't aware. White is aware and replies, no, I remember, and something about this good move tells me that these people have some bad history. These guys definitely have some lore that goes longer than One Piece. Oh, ... Sorry, I entered the wrong number. I hope you don't mind me, but nice to meet you. I'm Annie. Okay, this is the most body bot that has been botted in the history of bots. It couldn't be more bait that these responses are automated because White literally said they remember. That means it isn't the wrong number. Dumbass clanker. Outrageous move. White responds, no, it's right number. I am Ella, introducing themselves back to the bot, clearly trolling in some way. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're actually into these oil drinkers. If that's the case, I will refer them to character AI. Good move. Black, aka the Nut Muncher, replies, can you send picture? Question mark. And I know exactly what kind of scam this wireback is trying to pull off. It's one of these things where they try to trick their victims into thinking a woman actually likes them. After that, they ask for money to fly out, and then poof, the victim is left wondering where their supposed love at first text has despawned to. Since it's so obvious, I'm grading it a blunder. For the picture, White sends a communist man, followed by, Annie, do you like my pic? Question mark. Annie. With an amount of eyes, I would rather hang myself than count. This troll got a little giggle out of me, which is why it's a great move. Next, White starts with, hi, your FedEx package with delivery code : and then a code I don't want to read is ready for pickup at : the website. This is clearly an automated message, and we all know that it's illegal inside of text chess. Letting a stupid clanker make the moves for you should not be allowed. Mistake. Black hits back with, hi, exclamation point. Welcome to online casinos, exclamation point. Thank you for placing a bet by entering your number into our system, exclamation point. £50 has been charged from your number, exclamation point. And holy shit, this move reveals the biggest crossover in history. Two scammers have collided. White is probably shitting themselves after reading this great move, and the reply shows definitely that. What no cancel? Cancel don't take my money. Cancel the bet is White's way of literally begging like a little bitch. White plays another mistake here by allowing Black to take the game by the scruff of the neck and taking the weaker position. Considering how obvious the scam was, I can see why they are so desperate to keep £50. That's likely all they have. Black replies, "Thank you for placing an additional bet into our system!" 100 pounds has been charged from your number! And while this is obviously not true, White's a dumbass, making this an excellent move. All White needs to do is open their bank account to see this isn't real, but their brain functions clearly as fast as a sloth. No, stop, please cancel the bet, I beg you. White closes the game with a blunder, allowing themselves to get checkmated. If only they just checked their goddamn bank. It isn't that hard.
White starts off the game with howdy, which is a book move. It's a bit more quirky than the usual hello and leads to good conversation, most of the time. White hits back with hello, who's this, which is again a book move. The usual response when a random old ass man DMs you on WhatsApp. White then moves things along by saying, I'm called Sam, I'm friends with that, let's not say that word, from your work. He gave me your number and I said you were single, ... But of course, ready to mingle, LOL. What a blunder. I need to get some fucking therapy after that. No way bro just dropped the N-word in a casual conversation and rhymed single with mingle like a child. The secondhand embarrassment is killing me. This is worse than a chair. I honestly feel like Sneeko. Black picks up the use of the forbidden word and hits back with, ain't no way you've just dropped the N-bomb whilst trying to get a date with me, dash, which has to be a good move. Black picks up the blatant racism from White and attacks it. White responds with, he gave me the pass. Maybe you should give me the pass to your insides, with the winky face. That was already creepy enough, and bro did not need to add that winking face. The only pass here is to Diddy's mansion. Inaccuracy. Black finally decides to say freak, which is both honest and deserving. Very good checkmate. Now, welcome Grandmasters and Grandmistresses to your favorite series on the channel, where Gooner DMs are analyzed like games of chess. Now, let's get into the next match. White opens the game with, hey, smiley face, would you be open to getting some dinner and watching a movie with me? Which is a good move. Unlike all the other elite tier Gooners you will see in this video, this opening is innocent. I applaud you, White. Black responds with, hi, sorry, who is this? I don't have a large majority of my old contacts, lol, sorry, which is a forced move. I mean, what else were they really meant to say? White then hits back with, I'm blank, smiley face. You were in line in front of me at blank in Laguna and you smiled at me. I overheard you giving your number to the employee and I remembered it. I have a great memory and I thought you were really beautiful, so I wanted to ask you out, smiley face. That might be the most almighty blunder, and I take back the applause that I'll give to their first move. The opening was so wholesome, and then it all went to shit. Generational fumble. There is no creepier way to obtain a girl's number than to eardrop her conversation. Classic D1 Gooner. Crazy way to lose. Next, White opens the game with, you're a girl, straightens tie. Hi, I'm blank, nice to meet you, which is inaccuracy. Anyone who puts a action inside of their messages has to be on the registry for, you know. Black then hits back with, hi, I'm blank, can I join or not? Referring to the job that they want. This is a great move as it steers away from the creepy approach and takes things back to the desired topic. White then replies with, combs back hair, sure, you can join if you want, but where do you live? Not only did bro expose that he has a slick back, but he asked one of the most creepy questions out there and the dumbass expected an answer. He's not me. Blunder. Black, clearly concerned, says, I am not comfortable with telling you that, which is a great move. Don't tell strangers your addresses, kids. For all you know, that could be Diddy. White hits again with the corny stage directions and responds with, slowly massages your breast. We both support Arsenal. You may as well tell me where you live. Black made it clear they were not comfortable, but this information went through one ear and out the other for our Gooner. I like to call this an example of selective listening, which I have a lot. And it is also our first ever criminal move. Learn consent, dude. Black, uncomfortable as ever, responds with, that's a bit too much for me. Bye. And all I can say is one word. Brilliant. Black decided they were not going to deal with White's perverted shenanigans anymore, and I am proud. I'll also be proud of you if you like, subscribe, and join the Discord in the description. Anyways, on to the next game. White starts with, hi, kissing face, extends hand, which is an interesting opening to say the least, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and call it a book move. Maybe Black likes it? Black responds with, who is this? Which is another book move. You know, the usual response when you don't know who someone is. White moves again saying, with 7 M's, gives shy look. Maybe you'll have to find out, winking face, sticks out tongue, which becomes the first inaccuracy of the game. If a girl asks who you are, tell them who the fuck you are. It is not a game of guess who. And if so, you're losing. You're a nobody. You're a Gooner. Black hits back with, I don't know who you are, but I'm about 3 seconds from blocking you, which is an amazing, great move. It puts a clear threat across so White gets the hint. White ignores the hint though and says, oh,
no, with like 5 O's. You wouldn't! Exclamation point. Thinks in head of plan, gets plan. It's blank from blank. WAZ hoping we could ... sweats a lot, hang out, question mark, question mark, question mark, adjust collar nervously, which is another blunder. It surely can't get any worse than this. I thought the last guy was bad with his goofy ass stage directions, but he was nothing on White here. Jesus Christ. Black somehow conjures up a response and comes out with, aren't you the kid who got caught watching porn in the library? Hard pass, blocked, absolute fucking cinema. That bitch destroyed him with a trophy move that caused White to resign. Watching porn in the library is another level of cooked though, let's be real. On everybody's soul except mine, we all did that as kids. Moving on. White opens up with, do you want to come to my place to get cracking then? Referring to an assignment that the two got paired for. Good move. An innocent way of saying, let's f at my place, but innocent nonetheless. Black responds with, you are parents finna be home, which is a great move. It is evident that he knows what's up and is gunning to lose his virginity. Go get that king. White then replies with, yeah, ... why question mark, which is a miss. How innocent do you have to be to not understand what Black meant? This is definitely that one person who never understands a dirty joke. Black hits with, you know what, stop playing LMAO, which is an inaccuracy. White asked why, so they clearly don't know the fucking answer, do they? You're too desperate to get active in the sheets at this point. White comes back with, tell me, which is a good move, I guess. Simple and searching for answers. Black finally responds saying, because if they not finna be home, you're gonna leave this meetup with my handprint on your ass cheek, which is a game, losing, blunder. On another girl, this might have been the play, but White was way too innocent. Read the room, dumbass. A better move would have been to subscribe to Text Chess and to like, of course. Next match, White starts with, hi, maybe an odd question, ... but is your stream Gooner friendly? Weird ass face. Your model is very cute, which is a rare opening blunder. Any message starting with, maybe an odd question, is an odd question that should not be asked. Stay with me now. Except me, of course, I can ask any question I want. Black replies with saying, no, don't even think about it. I will ban you so fast, which is the best move. Nothing hurts a dirty streamer Gooner more than a ban, and it causes White to resign the match, which means that we have to move on to the next one. White plays one of the most boring opening gambits in the game of, what are you doing? And it's a book move. Nothing more to say other than the vanilla of openings. Black then responds with, taking care of my siblings, which is forced. They were asked what they were doing, so they are explained. Simple shit. For now. White hits back with, what would you be doing if I was here? Which is a great move in terms of Riz. Is it too early though? Only time can tell. Black replies saying, probably still taking care of my siblings, and follows up with, my parents are dead. Holy shit, that got very fucking deep very quickly. Inaccuracy. I get that Black didn't appreciate the Riz, but there's no need to trauma dump, dude. White responds with, oh, that sucks, which is a good move. There weren't any other options for them. Black then says, yeah, which is a good move, you boring bastard. Not only did Black make this conversation awkward, but they had the audacity to kill it. White then responds with, I wish I could be there to cuddle with you, sad face, like an absolute savage. Bro could not care any less about the dead relatives and wants something that rhymes with dead instead. Get it? Head? Yeah, I want it to. Anyway, checkmate. Next match, White starts the game with, you're gorgeous, which is a great move for the opening, and I must say it made me smile a little bit. Finally, a break from all the Gooners. Black responds with, wait, FR? Which is an inaccuracy. He just said you're gorgeous. What on earth do you mean for real? Are you a f***ing idiot? Of course he meant it. White hits back with, yeah, do your feelings reciprocate? Which is another inaccuracy. I can't tell whether this dude is ChatGPT or an F student. How does one use the word reciprocate and use the wrong version of your in the same sentence? What a dumbass. Black comes back saying, fucking reciprocate, are you an AI? But yeah, you are cute, which is a great move. Black and me, we are on the exact same level. Finally, we're seeing some good Riz here, a perfect balance of banter and compliments. Take notes, single men at home. Basically, all of you. White then replies with, would you lose your V card with me? Which is a horrendous blunder. We went from wholesome words such as cute, gorgeous to shit like V card. These guys cannot be a year older than 14. Black attempts to bring back maturity to the conversation and replies with, tad bit early for that, don't you think? Which is a great move, attempting to bring peace and love to this once innocent conversation. On a real one though, who would guess a match starting with, you're gorgeous could become so strange? White desperately tries to save themselves by saying, no, I want to do things to you that you can't imagine, ... I've been thinking about the night I could give you ever since I first laid my eyes upon you. And I have one word, blunder. What was bro thinking? I first laid my eyes upon you. Is this some kind of horny Shakespeare spin-off? Finally, Black hits back with, "So you're an AI and a fucking creep?" Nothing other than brilliant. The sentence puts the dirty, gross, ugly, disgusting, perverted dick of a player into checkmate. Anyway, that's my rant done. Let's move on to the next game. White kicks things off with "them though, lol," which is an inaccuracy on the first move. You might as well just scream, "I have no love interest in you disregarding sex, weirdo." Black responds with, "This her boyfriend," and this is an excellent move. The funny thing is that this probably wasn't even her fucking boyfriend, just a defense mechanism to make creeps leave them alone. At least that's what I say when it happens to me. White comes back and says, "Tell her I said them though, lol," and this is a bold ass move, I'll give it to him. It's an inaccuracy nonetheless, but you have to put some respect on his name for chancing this in a possible situation where this really was her boyfriend. Black then replies with, "Where TF do you want to be buried?" which is a great move. And the fact that she did have a boyfriend that didn't scare away White, then perhaps him being aggressive would. Reasonable logic towards a not so reasonable person. I like it. White finally plays "In those bro, duh," exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, which is a trophy move. This is the epitome of rage bait and made me piss myself because it was funny as fuck. After this move, Black resigned, allowing White to win by forfeit. By the way, when I said I was pissing myself, I am right now. I'll be right back. Now that I'm back, and it's time for the next game. White chooses a rather strange opening and says, "I'm jealous of your heart," and this is an inaccuracy. I must say that I have never heard this being used before. Yeah, that was sarcastic, of course I have, and we all know where this is about to go. Downhill. Black responds with, "Why, lol, question mark," which is a good move. It's a reasonable confusion for an innocent girl on the internet. Little does she know that her innocence is about to be stolen by the next outrageous move from White. White plays, "Because it's pumping inside you, and I'm not." Dude, what is it with all these Gooners jumping straight into the sex talk? Buy her dinner first. Or him, I'm not against anything. This move is definitely an outrageous move, and any man who thinks mentioning sex within 3 messages is a good idea should be sent off to therapy. No, not with their consent. Black closes with, "Who raised you? Jesus, stop shouting, it's hurting my ears." Anyway, this is the only possible move, resulting in a checkmate, shortly followed by blocking the account. Good ending from Black. And on to the final match. White is first to move and decides to play "Sweet Dreams tonight. Hope to see you in my dreams, lol." That, my friend, is what we call a wet dream. Enjoy it if your wish is granted. Good move. Black responds with, "Sweet dreams to you too, exclamation point. Also, sorry if I misread signals or anything, but I'm a lesbian. I like hanging out with you though." White is cooked. She was definitely straight before talking to him. Good move for setting her sexuality straight though. Or I guess it would be not straight. Anyways, White hits back with, "You mean you like p***y then deer, winky face?" Yes, that is what being a lesbian is, and you don't even correct grammar. You've just shown the huzz that you have the IQ of a kitten, and you haven't even finished what you want to say. "Will you suck or play like this?" biting lip emoji, exclamation point, XOXOXO. "You make me so hard too. It doesn't matter as you like hanging W me." That's an insane blunder. Just because she likes to hang out with you does not mean she wants to do cardio. I would know. She probably would if White was in the Discord server though, so be sure to join it with the link in the description. And subscribe while you're down there. White opens up the game with total MILF, period, which is a creepy way to call a woman you have never spoken to pretty, making it an immediate inaccuracy. Black hits back with a gif saying "MILF, MILF, MILF," with 3 exclamation points, and this mother is strangely enthusiastic about the MILF title. We can only pray that her children don't see this because they will be traumatized. This is still a good move in terms of Riz though. "You like young guys with big cocks? Question mark is White's response, and this guy is the biggest liar on the planet, making it a mistake. We all know their third head is not big, and if their nose acted like Pinocchio's, it would be bigger than it. Black replies asking, "Absolutely, exclamation point. You like MILFs with fat asses? Question mark, which is very, very weird. You can't go around saying absolutely to questions about liking young guys. It's creepy and you're just asking for a court case. This resulted in Black being checkmated. Welcome grandmasters and grandmistresses to analyzing Gooner wins like games of chess. In our second game, White starts us off with the Vampire's Gambit and sends "Bite Me" in fully caps. This is forceful and a bit too much for the opening, making it an inaccuracy, but if Black turns out to be into this stuff, then the game is still in White's hands. Black responds with, "Like, literally, question mark. I mean, I'd be down for that. Really happy emoji." And something about the emoji screams that Black is a raging virgin who is desperate for some action. This is not what you want the huzz to think, so it's a mistake. White hits back with, "I like your thinking, blank, daddy." And since both players are on the same page with this stuff, it is a great move. But Black decides to show off his virgin status even more in the next message by saying, "You gotta know I'm autistic. I cannot pick up on whether you're f***ing with me or not," crying emoji, which is incredibly corny. This guy has been shown so little love that his mind will let him believe he's receiving it. It's quite sad really, and a blunder, and I cannot relate. "I'm not joking. I have a lot of kinks, and one of them is you," is White's next move, which is an excellent move and some inspirational riz. Black must have the body of a Greek god to have a woman this obsessed with him, despite how bad he is at text chess. He's still got nothing on me though. Damn, you got me fanning my face and kicking my legs. Black could not be doing himself any less justice here. They better hope that none of their homeboys see this, because if I caught one of my friends sending this message, I'd give them the nastiest back shots for it. Insane blunder.
White closes the match with "You got me wet," which ends the game with a quick checkmate. If Black can make a girl wet, then anybody can.
No, that's too far. But that's enough with that game, because this next one starts with "Hey" with 2 Y's, double smiling face, which is a book move from White that starts things off nice and friendly. Black responds with, "Are you a parking ticket? Question mark, 'cause you've got fine written all over you."
This has gotta be a mistake, considering it's just obvious that it's overused and overdone.
White next replies with, "Are you a pilot? Question mark, because you're pretty fly," cool emoji, which is almost as dog shits as Black's riz. Wait, there's more. "Turn on the TV!" Exclamation point, exclamation point. "They hit the f***ing Pentagon!" Exclamation point, exclamation point, which is a move that even I was unable to predict. White's pickup line absolutely mogs Black's, making this a brilliant move. Unfortunately, Black was unable to comprehend such riz and hits back with "what?", which is an inaccuracy. How uneducated do you have to be to not understand that? What an airball. You have to be educated though, because you're still watching this video, which is smart. And in our next game, White kicks things off with "You have the prettiest eyes ever," which is a great move and is so wholesome that I almost forgot this video was about Gooners. This opening is meta and has a very high win percentage, but sometimes matchmaking doesn't do you justice. Black is a prime example of this and replies with "Thanks," smiling face. "I'd let you hit it BTW," handheld emoji, and the switch up is crazy. Bro switched things up more than Ava Chris Tyson in 2023, and this is the first blunder of the video. It's so terrible that it scared White into resigning and ending the game in just 2 moves. The next one will be longer though, just like another long thing here. Anyways, White begins with a weird opening by saying, "Hi hun, need to steal your wardrobe," which is a miss because Black is not here to sell a wardrobe. This is not Facebook Marketplace, and I would be highly confused if I received this message on Tinder. It is likely a pickup line though, so let White cook. Black responds with, "Only after I steal you!" Exclamation point, question mark, which is an excellent move considering the limited responses to such a shit opening from White, who replies with smiley, crying emoji, "Where are you planning to me? Take." And this just proves how good Black's riz was. It was so fucking next level that White can't even use their keyboard anymore from pure shock. This is a good move though, because it allows Black to drop some more game. Black takes the opportunity and hits back with, "I'll tie you in my basement, probably a nice cafe," nervous giggle emoji, and I hope this dude feels the most embarrassed he has ever felt in his entire fucking life. Blunder. No woman wants to be tied in a basement by someone they just met online. TBH, I was down for the first plan. You had me at tie. Holy shit, it actually worked. Black made the biggest gambit ever and it paid off, checkmating White and securing the Huz. If you want to start securing Huz though, make sure to subscribe and join the Discord with the link in the description. With that said, let's move on to the next match. White opens the match with, "When are you inviting me over?" question mark, which is a bold book move that gives off a lot of confidence. I like it. Black gets back with, "IDK, are you going to let me be in charge if I do?" And this woman clearly thinks she is me. Only I can demand to be in charge because I'm literally him, so this is an inaccuracy. White isn't going to be pushed around so easily and replies with, "Only if you empty my balls in your mouth," which escalates this shit way too fast, making it a blunder. Slow down, buckaroo. At least buy her some real food to eat before giving her your built-in meal. I take that back, it's probably more of a nibble. Anyway, Black responds with, "What's with the super sexual texting?" And as I said, White did take it a bit too fast, so this is a great move from Black and hopefully kills White's confidence. That would be the dream. Probably a wet dream, but it won't happen. You love it. This guy's ego is bigger than mine, Jesus Christ. He's more confident than Ryan Reynolds, and I bet he isn't half as attractive because Daddy Ryan is hot. This move from White is inaccuracy because if they're rizzing people up online, then they most definitely don't have the looks to back up this confidence, unlike me. Black closes the game with "You are so funny," which is a great move as it successfully secures White, who I would call the Huzz, but they come under a different category, a successful D1 Gooner with confidence. But he is nowhere near as low elo as the player in this next match, who lost without their opponent making any moves. White starts things off with, "Are you Chinese? 'Cause I'm trying to get your number." And I really don't get these dumbasses who think pickup lines actually work. They got patched in 2017. Nowadays, everybody knows that people just find them on social media rather than inventing them with their own minds. Blunder, but this is only the beginning. Black hits back with, "Joking, they don't hit back with anything." White double messages a full day later and says, "I'm trying to get in Japanese," which is so fucking shameless. There are billions of fish in the sea, but White is so desperate to touch a woman that he had a plan B. It's unfortunate that his parents' plan B failed. I didn't know 2 blunders in a row was a possible combination, but this guy just proved me wrong with a serious blunder. 3 hours later, though, Black strikes one last time and sends, "Will you bang my c***?" And I have no choice but to grade this as a criminal move. This despicable human being needs a restraining order that comes into effect immediately, or White could just block him. That would probably be easier. Luckily, Black stops being a shameless dickhead, which brings us to the next game that begins with, "Sorry, stupid question, slight frown. Octopi just look so much scarier than octopuses to me, ... And this opening from White is one only used in matches with the lowest elo. If you have to goddamn apologize in advance for a message, then there is absolutely no excuse for sending it. This question makes 0 sense, making it a mistake, but not quite a blunder as it is the first move. Surprisingly, Black responds with, "No, not a stupid question. Pie is much more scary than puss. And I'm quite happy for this potential couple and all, but come on. No way they turned the plural form of octopus into an actual conversation on a dating app. For the sake of the situation, this is a good move though." White then replies with, "Both taste good, smirking face. Absolute cinema." This is a brilliant move and nobody can convince me otherwise. I thought that White was a dumbass talking about octopi, but they had a plan in mind and it paid off when Black responded with, "Lucky for you, I have a puss and I like to bake pie," which is a good move and ends this insane game. Now this next match, White starts the game with the classic opening by saying, "Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert?" This opening instantly keeps things light and friendly, also inviting Black to share more things about themselves. This match seems to be of a slightly higher elo. Black hits back with, "Normally introvert, but for you, I would get on the Walmart intercom and scream, 'I love you.'" And I almost shed a tear, which is rare because I never cry. It's rule 1 of being an alpha. This is an excellent move because despite being an introvert, they openly said that they would leave their comfort zone just to show their love, and that is a huge green flag for women. Hold up, why the hell are things becoming wholesome? Let's move back to some real gooners. But first, make sure that you subscribe to Text Chest and like the video to up your texting elo. "Your name backwards is hilarious" is the opening from White, and they're messaging someone called Marissa. This is an excellent move because I wouldn't even realize how funny my opponent's name backward is. Black responds with, "I don't get it, explain," which is a miss. At least they asked White to explain it though, because they would be missing out if they didn't. Get it? Missing out? Anyways. White delivers their almighty punchline and says Mar-I-SSA period. You can read it backwards. That goes for you guys watching the video too. I found this pretty fucking hilarious, so I'm gonna give it a trophy move, but maybe I'm just immature. I think the fact that this is original and hasn't been used before plays a big part in the high analysis. The closing move from Black is LMFAO. Maybe you'll need to explain in person, which is a huge recovery from the previous miss and a brilliant move. I better be invited to the chair for this ass ramming session. I'm joking, of course. Or am I? Next game, White opens the game with the like and hike opening, which basically means liking someone's profile and then not saying a word. I despise people who play this opening, so despite it officially being a book move, I'm calling it a blunder. Black replies saying, "SMH, didn't even hit me with a good pickup line, rolling eyes emoji." And this is a perfectly reasonable concern. If somebody like and hiked on me, then I would slice and dice them personally, but I guess Black's idea of calling them out is enough to make it a good move. White decides to not be a bitch and actually puts in effort by saying, "There's 20 letters in the alphabet," which is more likely than the beginning of a very shitty pickup line, but at least she's trying, so I'll call it a good move. Black entertains the pickup line with, "Well, Elizabeth, where did the remaining 6 go?" before following up with, "I'd love to hear." And the attitude on Black here is absolutely crazy, and I love it considering the opponent, so it is a great move. "I forgot you are a QT." Okay, what is this? Every time someone in these videos uses a pickup line, I always end up wanting to press Alt F4 in real life, and this line hits the same, so it is a blunder. How many times do I have to say that only low elo players do this shit, and gooners like you guys watching? I mean, I know you're gooning right now. Black then hits back with, "Despite it not adding up to 26, I'll let it slide, because you are a QT yourself." And I didn't even notice that White's pickup line didn't make mathematical sense, making me lose even more respect for her. This is an inaccuracy from Black, because why would they want to date someone with the IQ of a donut? Although, you know what you can do with a donut. Anyways, White closes the game with one of the best recoveries ever and sends, "Hey, hey, hey, I just wanted to save the D for later," and then ends another text saying, "Emotional, emoji, best for last, YK," which is a brilliant move. White got the math wrong on purpose just to execute Black with his stunning checkmate attack. I must say, I'm inspired. I can't say the same for the next game though, as even the opening move is cooked. White starts us off with, "Damn girl, are you a derogatory term? Because you look very special to me." And I have one piece of advice for White and all the other low elo Rizzlers out there. Especially you. Please don't use edgy or dark terms around people you have never spoken to before. You can't be too sure of how strict they are with stuff like that, because of this opening being a mistake like the person who wrote it. Black hits back with, "Wow, period," showing they are not a fan of this humor. I mean, they are a reasonable human being for this. Good move. White then acts as if what they said was perfectly normal and says LOL, which is a blunder. Imagine laughing at your own jokes. It's an embarrassing move. I'm an exception, but even I wouldn't do this in front of the Huz. I don't even know what to say, ... I mean, that's borderline not cool, but also ballsy, and nothing about saying the R slur is ballsy. People on Call of Duty drop N-bombs daily, but that doesn't make them ballsy, that just makes them weird. This is a blunder from Black, who had their game in the hands. White takes this as a validation to give another crazy pickup line and replies with, "Call me an Asian star because I'm all balls," which is literal racism and another blunder in this game. If Black didn't like the first pickup line, then they most definitely won't like this one. White needs to learn from their mistakes, and it's a core rule in text chess, like being subscribed. And for the last match, White starts with, "I've been told kissing curly brunettes keeps you healthier, period. Is that true? It's corny, but it's sweet in a sense. I can see this shit working on your average low elo woman, but it could go either way really, so it has to be a good move." Black responds saying, "Not sure, let's test and see," and I love this response. It's perfect for White, who probably started punching his gooning hand in the air after reading it. Generally, it was smooth and flirtatious, making it an excellent move and a deserving one for sure. White then takes this as a green light to make a crazy play and responds with, "Number and address then? White saw their opportunity and they went for it. There is no way they won't get the number, but the address is likely too early. For all she knows, they might be a wannabe P. Diddy. Good move, but without the address part, it would be excellent. But there is a twist. Black closes the game with, "Yes to my number," and then her number followed up with, "No to the Addy RN, LOL, #safety YK. And this right here is a smartass woman, making it a brilliant move.
Welcome, Grandmasters and Grandmistresses, to the highest ELO matches. We're gonna have some high ELO games today. Not really. White kicks things off today with, "I'd love to take you skydiving," which is a great move. Honestly, this opener is so strong, it might either secure the win or send him crashing. Black responds with, "Gonna be honest, I'd rather permanently line my flooring with loose Legos than go skydiving." Brilliant move. Completely shuts White down and leaves him lying there like one of the Legos. White responds with LMAOOOO, which is a blunder. You can practically feel the desperation and the tears hiding behind those extra O's. Black follows up with, "Like I'd rather take a Razor scooter to the ankle every day for the next month." Damn, we get it. You hate skydiving. This is just bullying at this point, kicking White while they're already down. I'm giving this move a blunder. And then Black goes in for the overkill with, "I'd rather shave my head," and that's saying a lot. I definitely could not pull off bald. This is just sad now. Tripling down on an already defeated opponent is just unnecessary. I'm calling this a mistake, and if you don't want all your hair to fall off, make sure to fill out the form in the description and like and subscribe. Thank you. White comes back with, okay, would you rather be eaten out and have your legs shaken while watching Netflix on a king-size bed with a glass ceiling so you can look at the stars at my place, or go skydiving? I'm calling this a blunder. Just let it go, bruh. It's over. He should have conceded 5 moves ago. Black then responds with skydiving. Brilliant move. You gotta give it to Black for their sheer brutality at this point. White wraps it up with, okay, I gotta go skydiving to shout my lungs out now. Bye. I'm giving this a good move because he accepted defeat. Honestly, I do the same, but I secretly hope my parachute fails. On to the next Tinder match. By the way, all matches today are on Tinder. It's my favorite. White opens with, God damn, you put the sexy in dyslexic. This is an excellent move. A unique opening like this will make a lot of people respond and not just ignore it. I sure as shit wouldn't. Black responds with, thanks. This is a book move, a boring-on move. I'd rather watch paint dry than talk to this type of person. White responds with, no problem, smiley face. This is also a book move. This match is basically over given how bad Black is. Black hits back with, I'm dyslexic, so that shit's not funny. This is a blunder. It could have been a joke, but I doubt it based on Black's previous moves. White closes with, HOHSITYMBDA. This is a brilliant move. White talks to Black in words that they could understand. Absolute masterclass. Moving on to the next match. White starts with, yep, you have nice eyes. Good luck in looking. This is a good move. Nothing special, but it gets the job done. Solid and respectable. Black hits back with, thank you. You look nice as well. Shame you so fat. Blunder. This is an equivalent of an easy win, but you misplaced your queen and left it hanging. Absolute disaster. Black follows up with a correction. Far. I'm giving this a mistake. There's no coming back from that earlier blunder. White has probably already left the chair and is halfway home by now. This next match is still on Tinder. Before I continue, you're also still here, so hit that like button for me and subscribe. Thank you. White opens up with, hey, how many dudes use your first name as a pickup line? This is an excellent move. Seeing the name Juana, there are a lot of possibilities for openers. This is a breath of fresh air for Black. Black replies with, I lost count, haha, so many, which I'll give a good move. It's nothing special, but it's solid. White replies with, and does it ever work? This is also a good move, keeping the conversation flowing and showing interest. Then Black says, sometimes, haha, depends on the pickup line. Also just a good move. Decent match so far, just extremely boring. Then White hits back with, alright, I got one. I want to eat your ass. Wait, fuck. Juana, I want to eat your ass. Jesus Christ, blunder. White must have been on a losing streak for them to be this thirsty, or I guess hungry. Next match is up with someone named Alexandria. White opens up with, girl, you're so pretty, I'd jerk off your dad just to see where you came from. What the I don't know about this one. It's funny, but just straight unhinged and will scare the hoes. Blunder. Black hits back with, my dad is dead. This is a best move. This might make White think about what he said and apologize, unless White is a complete gooner. Surely he isn't, right? White closes with, daddy issues. Perfect. I'll give it to him for maintaining the same energy until the end. A great move. Alright, next match with someone named Carly. White opens up with, you're not allowed to be cute and smart too. It's very unfair to all the other boys. This is a great move. A strong opening with a high win rate. Black responds with, joke's on you. I'm actually a dumbass. Blunder. At the very least, Black is honest. Fucking dumbass. White closes with, damn, I just got pranked. This is a good move. Pretty hard to respond to that revelation by that Black. Okay, moving on to the next match. White opens up with 9 out of 10 would smash, make you breakfast in the morning, have shower sex, then take you out to lunch. This is a good move. A little bit forward, but it has substance and might work. Hopefully. Black responds with, not sure what to say about that. This is also a good move. I also wouldn't know what to say to that, to be honest. I guess Black and I have something in common. White hits with, OMG, I'm so flattered. Here's my number, come over and have your way with me. Any variation of those, TBH. Blunder. This just reeks of desperation, and this is just sad to read. White closes up with, PLS. Not even a please. This is just your textbook gooner. Like, bro, it cannot be that good for you to be begging another. Blunder. Embarrassing. Next. Out of the gate, White has super liked Madison. This isn't a good sign. Probably another gooner. Let's see. White opens up with, hi, wow, you're hot, and I love your cat. Honestly, a good opener. I'll give it a best move. Funny and mentioning their pet. Smart. Black responds with, I thought you were supposed to fall in love with me, not my cat.
I'll give this a mistake. White's opening was good enough and didn't need any repeats. White responds with, shit, can I try again? This is an excellent move. A good chance to redo it and impress Black. Surely he'll make it a lot better. Right? Black replies with, one more chance, which is a good move. White hits Black with, hi, wow, your cat is hot, and I love you. White was given the shot and he airballed badly, not even close. Blunder. White opens up with, since I'm German, my sausage is one of a kind, which I'll give a best move. Bold and could work, and not overly unhinged like those other Gooners. I meant players. Black responds with LOOOOL, well played, which I give a good move, showing they're interested in keeping up with playing with White. White replies with, thank you, give me a word/topic and I'll make a pickup line out of it. This is also a great move. He's willing to play any hand or strategy given by Black. Hopefully, White keeps going with his momentum. Black hits him with Parrot, which I'll give a good move. A little bit hard, but still not impossible. Kinda like my... White responds with, damn girl, are you a parrot? Which I'll give a book move. A good format and strategy he chose. He just gotta stick the punchline. Then White closes with, because I can already hear you screaming my name repeatedly throughout the night. Oh brother, seen and probably reported to authorities for harassment and assault. Blunder, another Gooner down. This next Tinder match is with someone named Ellie. White opens with pancakes or waffles. Finally, a breath of fresh air, no more of those weirdos and their openers. I'm giving this a book move, a bit plain, but sometimes it's all you need. Black responds with, fantastic opening line. Can I honestly say I'm impressed? I'm giving this a good move. I don't know if they're being sarcastic or actually like this plain opening. I don't actually know how to talk to women. White replies with, no, it would be more impressive? This is a good move. Might be plotting something good. Black responds with, what would that be? This is a forced move. This is the only move you can make. No other way out. Just walk straight to the setup. White closes with, answering the simple fucking questions. Brilliant. Absolute cinema. We didn't need all that yapping from Black. Just answer the damn question. Pancake or waffles? If it's up to me, pancakes are better. Next. White opens up with, hey, love your hair, man. It's sick. This is an excellent move. A flattering compliment always works most of the time. Black replies with, peg me till I'm in a wheelchair, mommy. This is just a straight up scary at this point. This Gooner epidemic needs to be studied and stopped. Blunder. White closes with, good fucking god. Best move. I wouldn't respond and just leave, but hey, this is the same thing. This next match is with someone named Liana. White opens up with, hey, book move. Black responds with, hey, how are you? Also a book move. Someone hopefully spices things up. This is putting me to sleep. White replies with, good, how are you doing? Then Black responds with, good, thanks, and you? You know what, maybe I treated these Gooners too harshly. I'd rather gouge my eyes out than read conversations like this. Fucking hell. White responds with, good, and you? Then Black responds with, good, thanks. Then White closes with, good. Absolute snooze fest. I fell asleep reading these. My editor's probably in a coma. Moving on to the next one. White opens up with, are you Lightning? Because I want to make you my queen. Then he sends a picture of Lightning McQueen. If the two messages weren't enough already, this is a mistake. Black closes with, hi, obviously I'm no longer interested in communicating with you after that message, but I'm writing to let you know entirely for your own sake that you need to do better or no girl will ever seriously reply to you. This is just brutal. He straight up murdered White. But this is a much needed reality check and would help White with his life lesson. Brilliant move. Fill up the form to be in the next video down in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Gooner.